Welcome to my channel Natural Cures. Your diet has more to do with memory impairment than age or genetics. Everything you eat greatly affects your memory, concentration, level of intelligence, and impaired brain ability with age. It has been proven that people who eat a high-protein meal tend to be more alert, while eating a meal rich in carbohydrates makes you more calm and sleepy. The protein is rich in the amino acid tyrosine, where it turns into the neurotransmitter, dopamine, in the brain, which leads to a sense of vigor and vigilance because the dopamine in turn turns into the hormone adrenaline and noradrenaline that provides you with energy and vitality, unlike the carbohydrates that increase the serotinin in the brain, a chemical that calms the nerves to satisfaction and indifference. What is the brain? Although the size of the brain represents only 2% of the body weight, it exploits 30% of the calories gained daily, and reaches 60% in infants, and it requires the equivalent of a cubic piece of sugar per hour, and that the brain loves glucose, but no, you should consume sugar in this way, but it is better to include foods rich in sugars, especially slow digesting, in each of our meals. The brain also burns this energy very quickly, even during sleep, so eating breakfast is the best way to store energy throughout the day, and to avoid any mental problems that may occur to you. After a week or two after attending breakfast, you will notice that a large amount of energy and mental strength is gained, especially if the meal contains at least one fruit type and different sources rich in protein. It is not permissible to skip this meal on the pretext of losing weight, or lack of availability time to eat it in the morning. Because breakfast is considered a fuel for the body, as is the gasoline for the car, to help the body carry out the physical and intellectual work and focus during work or science. These days, global attention is noted, especially among women, in what is called dieting and weight loss, regardless of what may be caused by following such programs, especially the ill-studied fatigue and exhaustion of the body in general, and the brain and memory in particular. Certainly, memory and thinking distract in the event of hunger and the lack of some minerals and vitamins necessary for daily work. A harsh diet has more harm than good. There is research that confirmed that an individual who gets low calories due to dieting slowly absorbs information and has problems remembering things compared to an individual who does not follow a severe diet. And vice versa, the old system to lose weight is the best way at all, as you do not lose more than a kilogram per week, and thus get rid of fat, not muscles, and remain in good mental state. Coffee and concentration. A cup of coffee per day makes you work and think faster and more worthy, but a lot of coffee has great harm. How? The caffeine in the coffee remains in the body for more than 5 hours, and a cup of coffee, or cola, in the middle of the night or before bed, can cause anxiety during sleep, and affect mental capacity in the next day. Coffee and tea contain compounds called tannins that reduce the percentage of food that reaches the brain, and this effect reaches 75%. Reduce your drinking of coffee to less than 2 cups per day and drink tea and coffee between meals, and not immediately after eating. It is worth noting here that the sources of caffeine that may enter our bodies daily are many and varied, and not only sip coffee. An example of this is shown in the following table. The quantities of caffeine found in the different materials that we eat daily are: a cup of coffee mug 200 ml 90 to 150 mg, a cup of Arabic or Turkish coffee 50 ml 100 mg, a cup of instant coffee 200 ml 52 to 67 mg, a cup of decaffeinated coffee 200 ml 13 to 35 mg, tea mug 243 to 110 mg, cola canister 200 ml 56 mg, cocoa 200 ml 13 mg, black chocolate bar 100 grams 150 mg. It is indicated here that chocolate, especially black ones, took the title of superfood at the beginning of 2006, just as is the case with apples and olives, even though it hides its black secret, with its good amount of stimulant and stimulating caffeine. Iron and memory problems. Iron helps transfer oxygen to cells, especially brain cells. When the level of iron decreases, cells need oxygen, and this leads to feelings of fatigue, memory loss, poor concentration, lack of enthusiasm, poor attention, and a low level of achievement at work. It is mentioned that women before menopause need 15 mg of iron per day, and the fact is that most women get less than 10 mg or less, so how do you increase the percentage of iron in your body? Increase your intake of meals that are high in iron, such as lean red meat, cooked dry beans, peas, and dark green leafy vegetables such as spinach, cabbage, and dried apricots. Cooking in iron utensils, as the percentage of iron in these utensils affects eating, thus raising its percentage in the meal. Drink fresh orange juice with iron-rich meals, as the vitamin C in oranges helps absorb iron more strongly. B vitamins are important for the brain. These few vitamins B2, 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 B2 with folic acid make the brain in great need of energy. This leads to confusion, mood disturbance, the inability to focus and think, poor memory and weak reaction capacity, especially vitamin B12 deficiency, which has become a phenomenon that deserves attention, as its deficiency causes depression, frustration and bad memory. It is often lacking in vegetarians or semi-vegans, in heavy smokers and in the elderly, over 50 years of age. It is indicated here that the sources of this vitamin are limited to egg yolk, fish and liver. On the one hand, a relationship has been established between memory deterioration and Alzheimer's disease, and vitamin B12 and folic acid deficiency, on the other hand. The importance of vitamin B12 is due to its contribution to the formation of the myelin, which accumulates in the form of layers, forming a buffer around the nerve fibers to protect it. To increase the proportion of these vitamins in meals, you must eat foods that contain high levels of them, such as liver, fish and egg yolks. Medium doses of these vitamins and minerals, nutritional supplements, that are available in pharmacies must be taken under medical supervision. As for folic acid, it increases the speed of attention and alertness, because it works to reduce the levels of the homocysteine in the blood, an acid that damages the brain cells, and may cause a stroke. This acid is found abundantly in green beans, green fruits and vegetables, legumes and whole wheat grains. The appropriate dose of it is about 400 micrograms per day. Potassium and nervous mood. The lack of potassium in the blood leads to a nervous mood and a bad mood, and the person with this condition becomes very volatile, angry, disturbed, visionary, sleepy and fatigued very quickly. Yellow carrot juice has outperformed all other treatment issues, so it is advisable for a person to drink 1 to 2 cups of this juice every day without overeating. In this regard, it is also useful to eat fresh vegetables, given their richness in potassium. Vitamins against laziness. The brain consumes more oxygen than any body in the body, and this exposes the brain to high doses of free radicals daily, which are caused by the use of oxygen in a large way. These sources destroy the brain cells in the long run, and lead to a gradual impairment of memory. This condition accompanies the person when he grows older. Fortunately, the human body contains antibodies to the oxidation of nutrients, which include vitamin C and E, and it daily stops the activity of these free radicals. Work on eating 5 or 9 types of antioxidant foods, such as orange juice, strawberries, carrots, spinach, and various types of vegetables and fruits. Also available antioxidant supplements of all kinds in pharmacies and measured doses. Also read, 5 foods that you eat incorrectly. Vitality, activity and endorphins help the sport secrete the hormone endorphins, giving its practitioners a feeling of vitality, activity, euphoria, lifting spirits, and depression. Androphin is a natural substance that is excreted in the body, and its effect is similar to opium, in terms of its analgesic effect. It is produced in a part of the brain called the hypothalamus, then released by the pituitary gland in the blood in response to the effort made in sports. The amount of endorphins produced in the body is directly related to the amount of effort involved. The more intense and the duration of exercise, the more endorphin production. When a person's life tends to be lazy, endorphins produce less, which explains the feelings of depression that some athletes feel when they stop exercising for a long time. Supplements and healing plants stimulate memory and boost focus. To multiply from it damage, it has been scientifically proven that the proliferation of omega-3 acid has harmful effects on healthy people, as studies have shown that this acid reduces the multiplication of T lymphocytes responsible for acquired immunity. It also reduces the substances that regulate the functioning of the immune system, thereby weakening the body's resistance and helping to make disease easier. Another study conducted on the elderly showed that eating this acid reduces the immune reaction, and that a meal rich in omega-3 reduces the rate of antibody secretion. Perhaps the main reason for the spread of an Egyptian habit that prohibits a person with a cold from eating fish, is because he thinks that the person with a cold will get worse if they eat fish. This product is available in pharmacies in the form of tablets of 300 mg, and can take 3 to 6 tablets per day, depending on the situation after eating. Do you want to exercise your brain and maintain your health? Japanese scientists have confirmed that just peeling an apple is beneficial for brain and brain health, given that the apple contains many antioxidants, vitamins and minerals necessary for brain health, in particular, and general health in general. The reports published in the newspaper, Michi, were based on research carried out by scientists at the Japanese Institute for Nutrition Studies, and showed that the peel peeling an apple is a stimulant to one of the important centers in the brain. According to reports, the scientists used infrared techniques to measure the blood flow of some parts of the brain among the 14 study participants, ranging from 23 to 52 years old. The results revealed that the blood flow to the area of the frontal lobes of the brain increases clearly, as people begin to peel apples. While this flow does not happen if the person passes the knife to the apple only without peeling it. Also, this flow is much less if the same person peeling onions, carrots or lettuce. Scientists explain this phenomenon by performing complex work that involves the use of a dangerous machine that alerts the frontal region of the brain. Scientists believe that the frontal area of the brain controls all executive functions, including making decisions with major consequences. Please subscribe and like and comment.